a lot of these YouTube channels, you really have to kind of use your imagination, maybe think a step or two further, try to, a lot of these YouTube channels are scripted, just as TV shows are. They're told what to say and when to say it, and I didn't want to do that with our YouTube channel, right? So why do I bring that up? Well, let me show you why. This article states an alarming 80%, so 8 out of 10 quote-unquote influencers aren't disclosing SpawnCon per new report. What is SpawnCon? Sponsored content. Remember this number when you start trusting an influencer on Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok. Look, I don't consider myself an influencer. I don't know like how many subscribers you have to be considered an influencer. I don't really know the definition of that, but if and when I do get to that point, I'm still going to have my foundation of thoughts intact and on full mast throughout the life of this channel. They're saying that a lot of people, influencers, whenever we get a spot, like look, my Ringke cases, all the cases I have down here, whenever I record a video and upload it to YouTube, there in YouTube Studio, behind the scenes, there's a little box I have to check off that says it's a promotion, and it says in the fine print, any item or service that was given to you, whether there was monetary gain or not. If any item given to you or service that you're promoting, you have to check this box, and that lets YouTube know basically how to two things. It lets YouTube know how to allocate certain ads when the viewer is viewing your video, or it also notifies you, the viewer, that hey, there is a sponsored item, a sponsored service in this video somewhere, just so you have knowledge that hey, something was given to the creator, whether for free or paid. So just beware, basically. Not beware, but just a FYI for your information. And then you can take that information back, then you have to decipher what you're watching, the content. Are they just telling me that this is a good service because they really believe it? Or are they telling me it's a good service because they were paid 20 grand? Right? That type of stuff. So this report saying SpawnCon, that is sponsored content. This report is saying that influencers are not basically, specifically for YouTube, are not checking that box, which pops up when you click on a video and it is a sponsored content. You'll see on the very top right of the video, it says, I don't know, paid promotion or something, to let you know, the viewer, I need to think twice about what they're saying and or what they're presenting to me. These content creators are not checking that box, so that sponsored content on the top right of the video is not popping up. So you, the viewer, think that what the influencer or content creator is saying, he's saying, right? There's no money behind it. There's no free gift behind it. There's no kickbacks behind it. So you're more likely to believe a content creator when there is no paid sponsorship on the screen. It's just a human fact. So this report was done in the European Union. The new EU report suggests that 80% of influencers fail to disclose every time they release sponsored content. Sponsored content, aka SpawnCon. The report screened 576 influencers and found that 97% 97% posted sponsored content, but only 20% reliably reported it as advertising. Additionally, 119 influencers in the study promoted unhealthy or hazardous activities. Read that again. Let's read that again. 119 influencers in the study, out of 576, 119 of them promoted unhealthy and or hazardous activities. And now you probably think, well, what do you mean? Like what? Well, isn't there there's an energy drink that, what's his name? One of the Logan Paul, or I don't know what the brothers' names are, but one of those guys have a energy drink. And I saw a news article and or a YouTube video just describing everything that's in that energy drink and how bad it is for you. I mean, it has chemicals on chemicals on chemicals up in there. Not to mention, like 8, I think, was it 8? It was 6 or 8. I think maybe it was 6. 6 times the caffeine intake of your daily recommended caffeine intake. 6 times that, which is not healthy, and especially when it's got all those chemicals in there. Some of them are natural, but some of them are not. So, look, if you have an energy drink every single day, it's probably not the best choice. Now, that means basically hazardous activities. That's the first thing that or first example I could think of. And obviously unhealthy, it would fall under that category as well. So, let's see. Sometimes we assume something to be true based on simply existing in the world, but having an official study done to prove our assumptions is always helpful. That's true. For example, everyone reading this probably assumes that influencers on social media and YouTube are lying a lot about the purpose of some of the content they create, but now there's an official report to prove it. Let's see. 4 out of 5 influencers. I guess they don't select that sponsored content in the YouTube studio. I don't know if there's, I believe there is on Instagram, there is an option. I'm trying to think. There is an option to select for sponsored content. Yes, there is. I had to think in my head. TikTok, I have no idea. I'm not into TikTok. I tried it for a while and it's just not me. But, I don't know how they're going to go about fixing this. YouTube would have to crack down, but then it's kind of hard because how do you know if a content creator is just saying it because they believe it or they're saying it because they were paid to say it? I've been shipped free items, free cases, and I have been critical, the design of the case, or stuff like that. So I try to be as honest as possible, and I let our partners know that as well. I've had a number of items that have been shipped to me and just not feeling it, so that's why you haven't seen anything about it. So very interesting. Just whatever you're watching, just please think twice about stuff. I try to be authentic as possible here on the channel. As I mentioned before, it's the only way I know how to do it. I could be like a robot out here and write a script for every single video. But again, as I've mentioned before, that's just not me. So please think twice whenever you see something. Or, what's funny? I had what phone company was it? It was a Chinese phone company. Sorry, I'm out of frame. It was a Chinese phone company, and it wasn't Poco. It wasn't Realme. It was a brand I've heard of, but very little. Like, you just hear their name maybe once or twice every couple years. It was a Chinese phone manufacturer. They reached out, contacted me, said, "Hey, we want you to be a spokesperson or one of the spokespersons for our new phone that's coming out." Blah 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 blah. And I replied back, "Yeah, cool. That's okay." Like, sure. Like, let me know. So basically, asking for more details, right? Like, because it was kind of vague, and you really have to watch out because there's a lot of scams going on behind the scenes that target YouTubers and stuff like that. So I'm always very, very cautious to begin with. But I was like, sure, well, you know, what you got? And they responded with, okay, here's our new phone, here's all the specs that's coming out, and we want you to read this script that we have written for you. And they're not even going to send me the phone. I was going to read the script, and then I was going to edit B-roll. B-roll's like footage that you take to kind of fill in. Like if I did a B-roll right now while you're watching me talk, I would put pictures of a Pixel 9 video up, which is kind of like secondary content while you're either listening to the main content. So they were going to have, while I was reading the script, they were going to roll pictures, they were going to roll videos of it in somebody's hand, like looking face down, kind of like this. Watch. So basically, I was not going to be there. It was going to be me reading the script, and then me, or not me, somebody else, like playing with the phone and while it would be me reading it, and then it would go back to me in my face at the end. So it would be me, and then when you would hear me talk, but it would show the phone, this and that, and then it would cut back to me for the last few seconds. Yeah, that sounds really shady. Like they were not going to send me the phone, so I was like, well, why would I do that? Yeah, so no, I politely declined that one. Y'all would be amazed at the stuff that we get presented with, and we're a relatively new channel. I could only imagine what like people like Flossie Carter and people like that get that have over 1 million or 2 million subscribers. I bet they're crazy. I bet yeah. So okay, before we get out of here, so moral of the story is be cautious, use your brain. When you see sponsored content, think in the back of your mind, is what they're telling you true? And I'll promise you that I will always be truthful in regards to what we are putting out on YouTube.